Let's talk one of the most formative TV shows of our young lives. Uh,
Can we start with fucking Fred Burger?
We're gonna start with Fred Burger.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Fred Burger is a character from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and for those of you who don't know the show, it's pretty straightforward. The Grim Reaper comes to kill a young boy's hamster, and the boy and his friend Mandy, the boy Billy and Mandy, they make a deal with the Grim Reaper to play a game, and if they win the game, the hamster survives, and the Grim Reaper has to do their bidding, and if they lose, what was it? I think he got to kill Billy and Mandy. I honestly can't remember that first episode because the other episodes after that are so much more iconic to me, but
they looked really ugly in that first.
They looked really different.
Super ugly.
That first season was rough. It kind of reminds me of the first season of SpongeBob, where like the animation style was very different, and the voices were all different, and like they hadn't found a groove yet. But throughout the show, you know, the Grim Reaper, aka Grim, being one of the main characters, you end up meeting a lot of supernatural folks and
Dracula.
Dracula. Dracula's a character. He's a very old, decrepit character. he's like this like 70s inspired vampire who likes to dance, and he doesn't, because he's old, he doesn't suck blood anymore. He like scrapes and licks the blood from things. You get to meet Jack-o'-lantern. From I don't know if Jack-o'-lantern is actually like a mythic, like a fictional character, but you know, at least the pumpkin heads are. And you also get to meet an underworld creature named Fred Burger, who appears in the episode Keeper of the Reaper, where Billy and Mandy sue each other in an attempt to claim ownership of Grimm, you know, and have him belong to one of the two kids. And I remember it being like a big deal. It was like a special, right?
No, it was just an episode, but like, let me tell you, man, like as soon as Fred Burger pops up, I mean, we were just quoting him all the time.
Yeah, it was a super important part of our friendship, I think, because...
And I can't do the voice anymore.
Anymore? Come on, man. You can try to do the Fred Burger voice.
No, yes.
There you go. Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
You just
doesn't
did
sound
it.
good. No, it doesn't.
Off,
I used to do it like pretty decently back in the day, but...
Which is weird.
Like frozen yogurt.
Yeah, give it up for Fred Burger, everybody. Yeah, that's pretty good.
But no, then he shows up later in the another episode where they go get frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
And the ending, I swear to God, one of the hardest I ever laughed at a show.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I actually did, but I'm 90% sure I pissed my pants at some point watching one of those episodes, just laughing so hard because it's so ridiculous. It's one of the writers and the voice of Fred Burger. His name is C.H. Greenblatt. He also wrote for SpongeBob and a lot of cartoons that we watched growing up. So that sort of absurdist humor permeates a lot of Billy and Mandy. It's just very absurd and silly. And yes, like SpongeBob, there are a lot of moments that I look back on in retrospect and I'm like, oh, they're just being loud and annoying for the sake of being loud and annoying. Like, do you remember Destroy Us All? Yeah. I was like, I used to quote that all the time, and now I see kids on TikTok who quote similar things from similar like shows, but mostly it's just like other popular TikToks where it's just screaming really loud and like being random. Like being random was it was like an identity for us. Like at that time, it was just like, I don't know how to be funny. Let me just be random, you know? Also, bacon and mustaches were the shit. It was like, do you remember how many pieces of merchandise we would see at like how often people talked about bacon and they're like, bacon's my favorite food. You know.
I think it's still going on. I don't get it, man. Bacon's overrated.
It's okay. We can't get too off topic.
People are like, I die for fucking bacon.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, everyone liked mustaches too. Everyone drew little mustaches on their finger, and then just hold it up. Or they'd wear fake mustaches. I think that's still a thing. You know, like at prom and parties and stuff. I don't know. I haven't been to prom in like 10
about
years.
20,000 years.
Yeah, so I think you're rounding up a little bit, but yeah. So Billy and Mandy was a very formative time for us, humor-wise.
Remember Haas Delgado?
Yeah, Haas Delgado. He's voiced by D. Bradley Baker. No, it's not D. Bradley Baker. God damn it.
I have no idea.
I forget his name. But he was the guy in Napoleon Dynamite that had he was Rex's dojo.
Yeah.
And Haas Delgado is like this monster hunter, and he has a chainsaw for a leg and also a chainsaw for an arm, or is it a hook for an arm?
It's like it's like multi-gadgeted, like an arm.
He can like interchange whatever is on his arm, but he's got an eye patch, and he's very like, my name is Haas Delgado. I'm gonna, holy mackerel. It's very very silly. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Do you remember that Smash clone that I had on PS2? Yeah. All of those characters in that, I played the shit out of that game. Because I just wanted to keep unlocking characters and costumes, and you had Norville, or Neville.
Neville, yeah.
Yeah. Neville is, what's the guy? What's his dad's name?
Nurgle.
Yeah. He's just Grimm has so many enemies. He just has so many people that he just doesn't vibe with.
I think he was supposed to be like the devil himself.
Oh,
like that's who he was.
Yeah, and then Neville is his son, who has a crush on Mandy, I think. Erwin, speaking of crushes on Mandy, who is, spoiler alert, Dracula's grandson.
Dude,
you got
me, yo. It's the duck.
You got.
Oh fuck, the goddamn rabbit. Remember the fucking pudding?
Oh yeah,
like the wishing skull.
Yeah, there was a whole episode where there's a skull, or it was the monkey's paw. I can't remember what it was.
It was like a wishing skull.
Yeah,
it was like the monkey's paw thing.
Yeah,
concept.
It was an episode where this wishing skull kept going into the hands of like different people. I think it had like 10 wishes in it, and it kept counting down. And it explored, it highlighted a lot of the side characters in the show. And Puddin, who it's not Mandy's brother, was it?
No, just some kid.
Just some kid. He is just a very shy kid. He wished to have a friend. I think it was like the most wholesome wish. And it's very much like a genie. The wishing skull would twist the context of a wish. And so he gives Puddin, like the skull gives Puddin this rabbit, this bunny, and then the rabbit starts to try to kill him, and it ends with that sequence of the episode ends with Puddin being chased by the rabbit, and it's like this whole action set piece where they're like standing on top of cars on the expressway, and they're like shooting like donuts at each other like custard. It's a messed up sequence, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people die, probably. Also, Puddin says, suck custard.
You ever hear of tough love? What's that?
Yeah, it was a messed up show. It used a lot of like dark imagery, and it was absurd. It was wacky as hell. But it was super fun, and I I chalk it up as like a Cartoon Network classic. I think because partially I grew up with it, but also like I don't know, man. I used to see Grimm everywhere. Like those characters used to be in so many different pieces of marketing for Cartoon Network. I don't know if people now recognize Billy and Mandy as much as other Cartoon Network shows or characters or whatever, but for us, they're always going to be classic, and they're always going to be right here, right here, in our hearts. Atomically correct hearts, by the way. So it's got all the vowels and shit. Thank you for not coughing into the microphone.
No, thank me.
That's what I just did.
I was not gonna fucking deal with that shit later on.
Oh, so you thank you.
Yeah.
David's the one that edits all of the podcasts together. Thanks, David.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Good ass show. Fucking one of the best. If anyone
Honestly.
disagrees, they're a moron.
Wait, what?
If anyone disagrees, they're a moron.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, it's a really good show.
Co to jest? Ty co? Dumano ci co?
Do you want to run that by us again, Chief?
No.
Okay.
Nie kurwa.